エンチャント反転マテリアル解放
草薙諸羽優ヤマタノオロチ
Every protagonist has their moment to shine in almost every single anime series, and it all starts by being completely useless or powerless, to then achieving greatness and proving those who doubted you wrong. Today's video will be covering 10 anime where the protagonist has weak power but ends up being overpowered. If you are new around here, then please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel with the notifications bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping you all waiting, let us begin with the video. So we begin this video with an anime called Akashic Records. This anime was created in 2017 by Studio Leiden Films, focusing on a fantasy-like world with magic and also takes place in an academy. I think this is quite the underrated series that did surpass my expectations. It is sometimes, full of the usual cliches and tropes, but if you look past the first episode, this show actually gets better exponentially. The show is surprisingly extremely entertaining with intriguing characters, though it still, has some of the usual tropes and cliches. There was something just different about this plot and also characters, which are very well done, that kept me hooked throughout. I personally really enjoy shows that are in magic academies. Maybe it's just me, but school-themed shows that involve magic is super entertaining to me. You never know if a powerful transfer student is gonna show up or not. I'm standing on 1 Million Lives, released in the year 2020 and developed by Studio Maho Films, in which they mostly specialize in creating isekai series. But the question is this a good one? Well, the quick answer is no, but still, do hear me out. Now, I've seen a lot of isekai, and most of these shows have the exact same theme with some slight changes, which is completely minor, but even so, knowing how generic and bland it all was, I wouldn't get completely bored. So obviously, I didn't have much of a different expectation of the isekai that were coming out, and this one here is quite different. There isn't really any significant mentioning the plot, since it's almost the same as any other isekai, but other than that, they can pretty much return to Earth whenever they complete missions. The main appeal, however, of the show is that the protagonist isn't a soft-hearted baby. Instead, this guy thinks of this as world as a game and doesn't really care if they get killed or even kidnapped or whatever. Now, I definitely really enjoy the work that Studio Silver puts out. Even though a lot of them may seem generic or sometimes visually unappealing, it's still entertaining for me to keep watching, with the case of their anime, Anti-Magic Academy 35th Test Platoon, which aired back in 2015. Now, it wasn't really bad at all. In fact, it was actually pretty good, at least in my eyes. It's just another, example of one of those series to glide under people's radar and become something much bigger than anticipated. However, not everyone seems to see it that way at all. Anti-Magic Academy focuses on one of the many different student platoons of the named, Anti-Magic Academy. However, the platoon that we'll be spending our time with is Platoon 35, which isn't exactly the best one out there. In fact, they're totally crap in comparison to every other platoon of the school. The protagonist actually came in using absolutely no magic, like he has no magic, and most of the cast uses guns, and he's the only one using a sword. Sword versus gun. I wonder who would win in reality, but this is anime, so sword can definitely be strong after all. The protagonist, Iruma-kun, was sold by his parents to a demon named Sullivan, in which Iruma was then sent to another world, which is home to thousands of demons, as he attends their school pretending to be one of them, while he is, after all, just a mere weak human being. Now, the thing is, Iruma is quite powerful just in his own unique way. He has done countless heroic and cool things that so many people in the school just love to acknowledge him. What I love the most about this anime is just the characters, the highlight of the show. Fun, quirky, adventurous, every single side character in the show plays a huge, massive role in this anime, leaving no one behind, and that's what I love about this. Season 3 is actually currently airing right now as I speak, and it's super fun to watch. My advice, watch this anime if you haven't yet. Combatants will be dispatched. Anime series coming from the same author of Konosuba. She has created a series that is quite similar but unique in its own way. It's a completely separate show and doesn't really have any direct connection with Konosuba, so yes, go ahead and watch this without any knowledge would be a fairly straightforward, easy thing to do. However, that doesn't mean you won't feel a similar experience when watching this goofball of a show. So pretty much this anime hits you with jokes like a machine gun. The jokes come fast, and even if one doesn't hit, another one soon takes its place. Even, you know, with the less than stellar presentation, the fact that the show can still stand as one of the best of this season when it back aired, you know, speaks volumes to its quality in writing. Crude as it may be, you really couldn't ask for more, to be honest. This show has been a real blast to sit through, and I always wonder, you know, when there's gonna be another wacky, dumb comedy out there somewhere to fill the hole in my heart. Studio EMT Squared present us with a newly airing anime series by the name of Beast Tamer, and to get to the chase, it's actually pretty decent, and it's exactly what you think it is. So why am I recommending it? Because it is very entertaining and also a very cozy watch. I didn't expect to be, you know, I didn't really expect the series to be a really unique and interesting show. I knew it was going to be a generic fantasy harem slice of life series going in for it. It's about a hero who got kicked from the hero's party for being absolutely too weak since his class is, well, a beast tamer. And these guys don't really do much at all during fighting and don't put up much of a fight. So pretty much, the hero's party are the antagonists of the series who keep bullying the Beast Tamer, and it turns out he's actually pretty powerful. It's very predictable, but still a fun watch. A former prince of Arcadia named Lux from an empire that he was meant to be its leader, but instead it was destroyed by himself years ago. Now Lux joins an all-girls academy to become a drag knight, and everyone knows him by his nickname, the Weakest Undefeated. This anime is an ecchi action harem and school genre. All these genres together combined result in an anime style that usually do not really please the audience all that much. That's the big problem here. But, you know, by watching this, you are pretty much jumping into a mech-based harem slice-of-life series in a school setting, and there will be a lot of fights using giant robots and ecchi romantic moments between the characters, as you would expect from a series like this. It's not the best, but definitely not the worst, and I can guarantee that some enjoyment you will get from this.
一切都在掌控之中，活该中箭。
Up next on the list is the show called My Cultivator Girlfriend by Studio Big Firebird Animation. The main male character, Li Ying, accidentally steals part of Lucy's power, who is the female protagonist of the show. Thereafter, he was forced to either die or pretty much form a contract with her and begins his journey as a cultivator, only to find out that he has this invincible power. As a lot of Chinese anime production series go, budgets aren't really big and are quite standard, especially the visuals. Now, this anime was, without a doubt, very enjoyable for me. There was some silly, stoic characters who really cracked me up as well.
睁大你的眼睛看好了，这就是我的天劫女友。
There were some, you know, sweet scenes of both protagonists having some romance. There were some bittersweet scenes like the flashbacks that were present that was quite heartwarming to watch. Even though the story, in my opinion, is slightly poorly executed, I still had a great time watching this. When I say one of the best, I mean one of the best Chinese anime series ever produced, and that is The King's Avatar.
夹得漂亮，接下来就交给我了。
This is online gaming at a competitive level at its finest when it comes to anime, and I have to admit, it was fire. A legendary gamer with sponsors competing in the esports and being at the top of his game suddenly decides to retire, but due to the love of his gaming, he decides to return to play once again, but this time in a Smurf account. With no help whatsoever, he will show everyone how a low-level gamer can become the absolute best once again in this Zero to Hero adventure. Now all I can say is that this is one addicting show that I've watched in a while, back in the days when it was airing. And now finally, to end things off, I'm recommending to you all is The Rising of the Shield Hero. It's, you know, mostly tailored towards the first season since the second season is not all that great in my opinion. Shield Hero is a very cool betrayal and revenge storyline of the protagonist named Naofumi, chosen to become one of the 4 cardinal heroes, and he was the Shield Hero. The only hero who was, in the eyes of everyone, a weak and useless being. Naofumi was then betrayed and framed for something he never did, causing the whole kingdom to pretty much exile him, leaving him to trust no one at all. This here is a story of how a betrayed hero redeems his reputation by proving everyone wrong about the Shield Hero and just how powerful he can truly be. Looks like you just made it to the end of the video and witnessed 10 anime where the protagonist has weak power but ends up being overpowered. If I've managed to leave any anime out in particular that you thought would be a great addition on the list, then please let me know in the comment section down below, as I'd love to hear your very new opinion, or just comment down below what you thought about the video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.